We're all kind of juggling this trade-off between how easy things are online and, well, our personal information, our privacy.
Absolutely. It's a constant balancing act. You want the convenience, but
Right.
you also think about, what you're giving up.
Yeah, from just sending a quick message to like sharing huge parts of our lives online, there
Yeah.
seems to be a tool for absolutely everything.
The ecosystem is massive.
But what if a tool decided to just strip away a lot of that stuff? A lot of what we've sort of come to expect about having an online identity.
That's a really interesting question. It touches on this critical tension point in our digital lives today.
Right. The more we're online, the more these questions about data and privacy and what's really needed just to talk to someone,
hmm
they get louder.
They really do.
And that tension, that's actually a perfect frame for our deep dive today. We're going to zero in on this specific communication tool. It's called ChirayuChat.
Okay. ChirayuChat.
Yeah. And our mission really is to get a handle on its main features, but more than that, understand what actually makes it different. Distinct from all those chat apps and social media platforms we use every day.
So cutting through the noise to see what its unique angle is.
Exactly. We want to give you a clear, kind of quick but thorough picture of its specific approach.
Got it. So what's the first thing that jumps out from the source material about it?
Well, the simplicity is striking, actually. The source highlights this super straightforward way to get started. It literally says you just enter a room ID and your name to start chatting.
Wow, okay. No big sign-up process then.
Apparently not. Just ID, name, and you're in. It feels like it's built for, like, immediate access. Hassle-free.
That is incredibly direct. So
Yeah.
you're in the room. Then what? What's the main thing it does?
Good question. Its primary function, the main thing it states it does, is allow you to share files.
Okay, so chat and file sharing. Pretty standard in some ways, but that entry method is different.
Ugh. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. This is where ChirayuChat seems to, like, fundamentally challenge what we expect.
Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
The source material explicitly points this out. No login, no mobile number, and no email ID required. None of them.
Whoa, hold on. No login at all? No phone number? No email?
That's what it says. And think about that. It's not just some minor setting. That's a massive departure.
It really is. I mean, when you look at what the source calls the top 25 chat apps or the top 25 social media apps,
Yeah.
almost every single one demands at least one of those things. Often your phone number, sometimes email, usually a whole login system, just to even get in the door.
Exactly. So ChirayuChat throws all that out. So if it ditches all those, typical ways we identify ourselves online, what does that imply? What's the shift here in how it expects users to interact, or maybe the trust involved? Does it change the actual connection?
That's a really crucial point to unpack. It strongly suggests the focus is on, well, immediate connection, maybe even transient connection, rather than building up a persistent, identifiable online self.
Transient. Interesting.
Think about it, right? If there's no login, no phone number tied to you, no email, the interaction isn't really about who you are long-term in the system's eyes. It becomes much more about the specific conversation, the files shared, right now in that room.
So the identity part is secondary. The communication itself is primary.
Exactly. It points towards use cases where maybe that long-term identity just isn't the point, or maybe it's even undesirable. The focus shifts purely to the exchange.
Huh. It almost makes you stop and think, have we just overcomplicated online communication? Is all that identifying info always necessary? This feels less like just a different app and more like a whole different philosophy.
It definitely presents a different philosophy. You could almost call it minimalist.
Yeah. So what kind of situations does that open up? Or maybe what does it close off compared to something like, WhatsApp or Instagram where your identity is key?
Well, it certainly pushes back against the idea that, more data is always better for the platform. It might not be your go-to for building a lasting social network, right?
Yeah.
Or easily finding old chats years later.
True. No history tied to a permanent account.
Exactly. But it could really shine in situations that need quick, low-friction ways to collaborate. Or maybe for private discussions where the idea of a platform collecting personal data is a big concern.
Ah, okay. So less about building your digital self, more about just getting the job done, communicating directly.
Precisely. It seems to carve out this niche that really prioritizes immediate access and, importantly, a lack of data trails tied back to those usual personal identifiers.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the big takeaway then from this deep dive into ChirayuChat?
Well, I think the core finding is that it represents a model that deliberately strips away that identity layer we've become so accustomed to. It really boils interaction down to basics.
Right, just the room ID, a name you choose for that session, plus the file sharing. And critically, none of those digital footprints like logins, phone numbers, or emails that usually anchor us.
hmm And if you connect that to the bigger picture, this minimalist approach of ChirayuChat, it really stands in stark contrast to the model used by so many of those uh, top 25 chat apps and top 25 social media apps mentioned in the source.
It's like a whole different paradigm, isn't
It
it?
really suggests one, yeah. One where maybe immediate, perhaps more ephemeral communication takes center stage over building persistent profiles and, well, the data collection that often comes with that.
So that brings us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to maybe mull over. What does the existence of a tool like ChirayuChat actually suggest? A tool that deliberately prioritizes getting you in quickly and protecting your privacy by not asking for all that traditional personal data. What might that tell us about where online communication could be heading?
Or maybe about what users are starting to expect or even demand regarding anonymity on one hand and sheer convenience on the other.
Exactly. It's a really thought-provoking counter-narrative, isn't it? Especially in the very data-driven digital world we live in today. Something to think about.